It's a giant and going to be saying it can do the Looney Tunes crossing over the Justice League and other forms of media. It would start out with Bugs Bunny crossing over the Legion of Superheroes, would then mean to bring Superboy into the future, but them getting Bugs Bunny instead. Then Bugs Bunny proving himself a superhero by fighting against the Fatal Five and defeating them, and him becoming a Superman of the future. With the Legion of Superheroes sending him back to his own time and then remembering him in the future. With you showing the serious part of how the DC heroes see it, and you showing the cartoon parts for how the Looney Tunes see it. Thus seeing some of the Looney Tunes as humans, animals, anthropomorphic animals, or their usual cartoon selves. And Alpha tried to kill Bruce Wayne because she thought he hired Bugs Bunny to kill his girlfriend, Silver Cloud, Batman's original girlfriend. But when they fight that Looney Tunes characters, they found out Silver Cloud set the whole thing up. Then Batman beats up Fudd for hunting Bugs Bunny. Then Daffy Duck would be the Joker's sidekick and manage to help Batman to defeat him, but him going to jail too because of him helping Joker with his crimes, and the Joker beating him up in prison, but Daffy surviving it. He would get out by trying to therapy the Joker and helping the police, but then the Joker would still get revenge on him. Then Porky Pig would work for Lex Luthor, and he would be good at first and enjoy it, but then he would find out Lex Luthor is an evil guy and a terrible boss, so him destroying Lex Luthor's company by using Daffy to ruin it, and him helping Sherman to defeat Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman would meet up with Tasmanian Devil because of her having a good relationship with DC's Tasmanian Devil, and then working together to defeat Cersei and save the Amazons. With the Amazons accepting the Tasmanian Devil in the end. And the Tasmanian Devil would do it because of him being in love with Wonder Woman and him being unstable is right Wonder Woman getting his help. Then Martian Manhunter would find Marvin the Martian on Mars trying to blow up the world, so then Martian Manhunter would stop Marvin the Martian. Marvin the Martian would hate that John likes humans, but John would hate that Marvin the Martian is trying to blow up Earth. But then he would find out the reason why Marvin the Martian is doing this is because him doing it for his queen. But Martian Manhunter would stop Marvin the Martian. Then Harley Quinn would meet up with Gossamer, them having fun together. Gossamer saving her from the Joker after the Joker does some terrible things to him. Them doing crazy things together, and Harley also saving Gossamer from his mad scientist that created him, and then Gossamer getting drove crazy by Harley Quinn and him getting away from Harley Quinn. Then the three favorite witches, which would be Morgan Le Fay, the witch from Looney Tunes, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They do a bet with Treaty and Sylvester, which involve every bird and cat themed superhero in DC. And Black Canary and Catwoman fight against each other, but then them all working together to defeat the witches, so them freeing that other guys. And Treaty and Sylvester would be Catwoman's pets here, and Yosemite Sam would be a criminal in the Wild West, but then Giant Hex would stop him, and also stop him from going against Wyman's, and then Giant Hex would also defeat Yosemite Sam in the end. With them also bonding over them being cowboys, as in them being tough people in their franchises specifically. With them also working together to stop a criminal, and them also acknowledging that Yosemite Sam and Johnny Hex has been a lot of things. Then Wile E. Coyote would get help from Lobo to finally catch the Roadrunner. While they would catch him for a while, Roadrunner would get away, and because Lobo did his contract, him getting away from Wile E. Coyote because of him liking Roadrunner, and him finding out how hard it is to get at Roadrunner with Wile E. Coyote. Turning out that Mr. Mix's Piddly is doing it because him getting it from a cartoon cell to make the DC universe as more funny, which would be a terrible thing because comedy being a terrible thing, and because him wanting to have some fun with the Looney Tunes characters crossing over with people like Superman and who he usually goes against, and since Bugs Bunny always wins, he thought he would be able to defeat Superman. But then Bugs Bunny would be able to defeat Mr. Mix's Piddly because of Bugs Bunny being able to do the same things as him because he's a Squats and Shorts cartoon character, and because of Bugs Bunny always winning in the end. Beast Boy would beat up Pepe Le Pew for hitting on Wonder Woman. Then they would all work together to defeat the Toy Man. Then Mr. Mix's Pig would send everyone back to their own dimension because of him hating that the Looney Tunes are able to defeat him, and him wanting it that no one is able to defeat him in the DC universe. Also use this for them crossing over with other cartoon characters and crossovers in general like Hanna-Barbera, like Deathstroke going after Yogi Bear because of him stealing pick-a-knit baskets, but then them working together and him giving Yogi Bear a bunch of pick-a-knit baskets. With Booster Gold also interacting with the Jetsons and Flintstones going through time, and also with the Legion of Superheroes and a caveman superhero, stopping Superman from messing with time, and also to make sure it not affecting the future in any way. and with Green Lantern crossing over with Space Ghost was because of them both being space superheroes and space cops. They would use each other's weapons, but then finding out it being good them using their own weapons, especially against their own villains and some Pacific alien species from the original story. Then Damian Wayne and John Kent would cross over with the Blue Falcon, with them being at his funeral and them helping Dynamite, with them also seeing the actual Blue Falcon, and them helping Dynamite to say goodbye to the original Blue Falcon. With them also finding out death because of them going to their funeral. With the following Phantom crossing over with the Haunted Tank. The first winning a race against Speed Buggy and him freeing him from his evil creator, him stopping an evil Speed Buggy with some evil reverse flashes, and him and Speed Buggy also becoming friends in the end. Then some people would be scared because of there being a shark. Aquaman would try to handle it, but then him finding out about Jabberjaw being more intelligent than your usual shark, and him actually being from the future, him talking a lot, and him not really being that much of a fighter, but him helping Aquaman to defeat the his sea villains, and then becoming friends in the end. And Captain Caveman's superhero stopping the Manhunters and helping a family with Shazam. The Zeta Beam would wear off, and Adam Strange would end up at the same place Johnny Quest and his family are on a deserted island, and a mysterious dinosaur island at that, but then he would help them get off of it and defeat them with Harvey Birdman acting as their lawyer, finding trouble either one of them would get into afterwards, and Adam Strange going back to Juan. Then the secret agent Skrull and a spy from DC would work together to stop a James Bond villain, and in this comic book, using them to see around the DC multiverse, so I've seen the other crossovers. And that's also seeing Kung Pao Fury, they work together with Black Lightning in a Kung Fu movie against Kung Fu supervillains and a magical supervillain. Kung Pao Fury being a Kung Fu hero, and Black Lightning being an action hero. And John Stewart would hang out with Huckleberry Hound and them bonding over them both being in the war and him helping them out during a protest, and them also bonding at a bar, drinking soda. Would also help Batman and to stop some supervillains, and then he would also go to Metropolis and help Superman stop a giant monster villain because of him just getting involved with the crimes by accident and him wanting to make up for it. The Batman and Superman making sure him being a good person because he wanted to make up for it. Then Strugglepus would be defending Tomcat in court, saying it just being a mistake along with his stuff in court. And Dick Grayson would be helping Miguel Gorilla because they both were a part of Haley's circus together. And then he would try to clear Miguel Gorilla's name from a crime he didn't do, and then it turning out it was Greyback that did it, so Miguel Gorilla not going to jail for it. Bulldog and Bird would be telling some jokes at a nightclub them hang out at. And the Banana Splits would end up in jail for a crime they didn't do, then them hang out with the Suicide Squad. They would be crazy at first, but then them bringing the Suicide Squad together, and then them getting out of jail in the end. A concert in time, and the Suicide Squad going to their concert, and it turning out Amanda Waller framing them, and them getting revenge on her by using their insanity against her. You'd also use DC knowing about their other crossovers for them being experienced with these. It's just say, hey, we actually have experience in dealing with people that are from a completely different multiverse than us, so we do know how to deal with these things. Like with them doing a crossover with Ruby and Mortal Kombat. Sonic would also be there. It would start out with Darkseid going to Sonic's road, so him getting the Master Emerald so he can get the anti-life equation. Then Sonic being faster than the Flash at first, then them being evenly matched, then the Flash being faster than Sonic, and it being obvious that the Flash is faster than Sonic, with Sonic having a hard time keeping up with the Flash. So when they stopped Darkseid and managed to destroy the Master Emerald, stopping him from getting the anti-life equation, taking over their universe, it looking like their universe was destroyed and them ending up in the DC universe, so them filling in for the Justice for a while and helping to stop the villains there for the Justice for a while. But then it would turn out that the universe has moved, so the Justice sent Sonic and his friends the gems, so them managing to put the universe back and them going back there, and Justice also filling in for Sonic and his friends, protecting their universe, fighting against their villains while they were there, also them dealing with Darkseid while they were there. With them getting the emeralds at first, and them using it to turn Sonic into Super Sonic, with Silver and Shadow, and him being more overpowered than the Flash, and them working together to defeat Darkseid, and they managed to send everyone back to their own dimension. And for how you can do the sequel to this, which they already set up in the comic book, you can just do Eggman working together with the DC villains, then in the last one, then fighting against all the Sonic villains with Mr. Mix's Pidgeot. With you having Sonic in the Flash with Speed Racer and Quicksilver, and the Flash proving him being faster than all of them, so him really proving him being the fastest man alive. And that Namor is a cheap knockoff of Aquaman even though he came first because of Aquaman defeating Namor. Because of Aquaman being a better superior than Namor, and him being a true superior than Namor. Then the Monsterverse would attack like the DC heroes, but then the Power Rangers were together with the Justice League in order to defeat them. With the Monsterverse monsters being sent there by their villains, and the Power Rangers using their Megazords to help the Justice League to defeat the Monsterverse giant monster Kaizus. They would fight each other at first, but then they would be allies in the end. The Power Rangers and Justice League sang into each other's worlds. With them actually winning against the giant monsters because of them being superheroes, and them also getting along with the Teen Titans, and then them also seeing how many superheroes and supervillains are there in DC. There's so many aliens and monsters in DC. With the Power Rangers proving they're superheroes even though they're teenagers, and with them proving them being a different kind of superheroes than the Justice League. With them even using some stuff from the DC universe for a time. Using their superheroes who can go big to fight against the giant monsters with the Power Rangers like Atom Smasher and Extraterrestrial, and with them actually destroying the giant monsters in the end. They would also cross over with the Power Rangers. Shredder would become a Green Ranger, and the Power Rangers would actually become their dinosaurs, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would become Power Rangers. And with them already knowing each other and having experience with each other because of them already crossing over with Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before. Awesome them working together. The Galactic is next door getting in on the crossover, which would be just a sign that I'm for this so to happen. And with the sequel series through Gun Adventures Billy and Mandy and them getting in on it, with them also I was saying them being glad they're being good superhero grown-ups in other universes, and just like finding out the kids next door's Rose Gallery are the most dumb and pettiest Rose Gallery ever. Because of them going after kids, and because of them being dictators, and them being glad that kids next door exist in their universe, and that them being kids, it's protecting their kind. And with them acknowledging that Graham is different than the other physical embodiments of death in the DC and Marvel universes. With Jade Armor crossing over with Wonder Woman and Katana specifically because of her and Katana both being semi-superheroes, and with her and Wonder Woman both being woman superheroes that were good even at a young age. Her bonding with the Justice League and Teen Titans specifically, and with her showing her that she is good because she's a teenager, and it also being good, her continuing being Jade until her being a grown-up. With them acknowledging that it being hard for Jade because of her being the only superhero in her city against so many supervillains. With them acknowledging it being good Jade Armor having her friends and family to help her be a superhero in her city because of a bunch of them missing their loved ones that passed away over the years. With Theo getting one of the hero books like some super awesome man and X from Hero Inside, and him becoming a superhero himself with the comic books, like bringing the heroes to life. Because of him having a good imagination, and it also being good because it being different from Jade, proving it's good him being a comic book fan. And then Theo gets back the superheroes comic books to Super Awesome Man X because they're going back to their dimension, and saying, it's okay, I got what I wanted, and there's nothing wrong with me just being the friend of Jade Armor. With the characters from Unicorns Raiders channel, finding the great evil in their crossover too, them also helping them fight against larger villains, with them also acknowledging it being good Jade Armor has her family, and them also acknowledging how different the superheroes those galleries and dimensions are from theirs. And the Avatar movies are not copying the Avatar show, they just did one trilogy and that's it, so at least they're not way over milking them to death, and it was just a natural progression of the story. And Aang and Korra from both of the Avatar shows should be here, because it would be good them interacting with each other and seeing the person he used to be. And have both of the avatars there, because of the Legend of Korra being one of the best sequel shows. With them crossing over with the new Avatar from the new Avatar show, with us as seeing it after the show ended. So it being good hit ending on that one, and it being good hit interacting with these versions of these guys. They would also cross over the Yano and acknowledge how similar they are to each other, but also acknowledge them being different from each other to show Yano is not a cheap knockoff of them, she's her own version of them. You're not just doing it for a Justice League Looney Tunes crossover, you're doing it for the ultimate costume crossover because it's good them crossing over with each other. You can just throw in some Christmas characters there for it to be Christmas themed as a Christmas gift to the fans.